Hello! SimTheWorld here with another exciting episode of Car Mechanics Simulator 2018. We are back in the garage. We are getting very close to level 30. We're going to be able to expand this pretty soon here. But in order to do so, we got to keep taking those orders. So let's see what we got today. We have a hunk of junk, alright. Let's see what they want us to do. Our customer says, "Yo, dude, I need to get rid of my car. I need you to make it look pretty. You know, people like shiny things, so make it shine. It's almost brand new, so there's not much to do. You can do it, brah." Alright, so there doesn't seem to be much to do, right? This part list seems to beg to differ. And we've got some body parts to replace. So I think if this car will start, I wanted to go test it. I don't think everything's going to be limited to the engine. My concern is there's going to be like, this rim is bad, I can just see that right now. We got the radiator's bad. I'm going to go run this through the tests. I'm going to see if I can identify all the issues in this car, and we'll come back and discuss a plan of attack. Alright, so I found the car does not even start. It looks like there's an issue with the engine itself. I jumped in here real quick. I tried replacing the starter. As you can see, it's got a new starter on it. I thought maybe that was the issue. All I wanted to see was just to get it run, but alas, there was an issue. We gotta dig through this engine and figure out what's wrong. Before we do that, we'll just put on these new body parts. Ran over to the shop, before I came back. Make sure you guys didn't have to watch me struggle looking through that. All right, look away, look back. Now we can get in. And all the body parts are taken care of. That's one part of the job done. The next part. Alright, so we got some muffler work. We already took care of the starter, but we're going to have to take that off. I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm really, really afraid. Ooh. Come on, there we are. We're going to have to get into that engine. Let's run a couple tests, see if we got anything else. Yeah, fuel filter, we did see that. Well, we can run a compression test. I didn't think the engine started. Alright, so that at least makes me happy. We're not pulling out this engine. Let's go ahead and get it on the lifter and take a look underneath the car. Alright, I'm curious. The rim's bad. We can tell that. But the tire itself, I see those patches of the dark gray around it. I wonder if that means it's bad too. No, the tires are good. It's just a crappy car. Fair enough. I'm going to go through, I'm going to start ripping out some of these parts, and we're going to take a look, see if we can't get everything diagnosed. I'll come back in a few minutes. All right, so as you can see, we found a good chunk of it. I replaced all the exhaust system components. Those were all bad, and in fact, why don't I pop over here, double check. The manifold, yeah, the exhaust manifold here looks fine. Oh no, it wasn't. That did need replaced. So this looks to be primarily an exhaust related job. So we've had to replace everything. But we're still missing a few other parts. So I'm going to keep tearing this apart. Gotta be timing related. Take a look up front here. Belts look fine. Go into examine mode. We have this before we get too carried away. Alright, so everything's looking fine. About the belt. It's nice we can just visually inspect and determine what needs to be replaced and what doesn't. Right, that's gonna get taken off to check, but yeah, if most of these are fine, I'm sure it's all fine. Interesting. So it's looking like whatever is wrong probably isn't engine related. At least I'm gonna hope not. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a look. We still have four. Yeah, we have 4 components left to find. I don't want to get too carried away, so I'm going to keep searching for what those could be. So far, we've had the engine head covers, we've got the manifolds, the coils were all fine. We had the throttle in the back and the fuel filter, the air filter. Let's keep looking. Alright, so those last 4 parts were all 4 rotors needed replaced. Oh, we don't need that. We need put on the new brake rotors. So again, this is something I don't understand in the game. If I were doing the rotors, I would also replace the brake pads. Now, we're not going to get dinged for this like we did in the previous games, where you don't do something that would make sense and you have to redo the whole order. Like last episode. Ugh. Gives me nightmares. Having to replace pistons twice. Right. Hello. Post-production SimTheWorld here. Wanted to talk to you about, I don't know if you've noticed in the profile picture, you've got the globe, but there's a keyboard there. That keyboard's actually a K95 Corsair keyboard, and it's got some macro keys on it. I, like most people, enjoy macro keys. I like to program a few things, get those tied together. One of those things I happened to program was a stop and start record for OBS. Wouldn't you know it, that macro key was by the escape key, which I happened to bump while recording. So, having not noticed that I stopped recording, I continued through this job, completed the order, and sent the car along the way. Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 does not have a good previous save recovery function. So I had a dilemma of whether or not to scrap this and try to find a way to redo this order and figure out how to get a full-length video for you guys. The only option I could figure out was starting a new account and working my way through all these jobs again. Now I would do that if if I didn't already complete and find all the issues in this car. Like, the last 4 parts we had were these brake rotors. The only thing you guys are missing is the assembly process, where I put everything back on the engine, put the tires on, and send it along its way. Which, by this point, you guys have seen quite a few times. So with that, I thought you guys have the full part list if you're struggling with this order. Sorry, I've disabled the macro for that key. This won't happen again, but it's good to note that you want to be careful before you save this game, because there is very little chance of getting a prior save back. And with that, thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates to future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.